Put a battery inside the DSLR camera. The battery door is located on the bottom of the camera. Note the direction of the contacts on the battery when you're inserting it. They should be opposite the small gray tab. Power the camera on. The power switch is located on the top of the camera and has 3 settings: off, on, and video mode. To use the camera for photography, set it to on. Open the articulating screen on the back of the camera. It will open to the left. It can tilt up, down, and can be closed against the back of the camera with the screen facing in or out. Select a lens. The kit includes 2 lenses, an 18 to 55 mm zoom lens and a 50 mm lens. If using the zoom lens, ensure that the lens is set to AF and that the stabilization mode is set to on when you're not using a tripod. If you're using the 50 mm lens, also make sure that this lens is set to have the autofocus on. While you can't zoom in or out with this lens is the better option for doing portrait photography or close-up photography of things like flowers. Now you'll attach a lens to the camera. Remove the cap on the front of the camera by rotating it to the left. Remove the cap on the back of the lens by rotating it to the left. Note the location of the white square on the zoom lens or the red dot on the 50 mm lens and find those corresponding marks on the front of the camera. Align these marks and gently rotate the lens to the right to secure it to the camera. You should feel and hear a gentle click once the lens is properly attached. Note that these lenses are fragile and have plastic mounting brackets. Never use force when attaching or removing a lens. Set the camera to the mode you want to use using the dial on the top of the camera. If you are unfamiliar with manual settings when using a camera, set the mode dial to P or green, which are both automatic modes. This tutorial will not cover many of the modes and settings available on the camera. YouTube is a great resource for learning advanced settings, and you can see what photography books are available to check out from the library. Now you're ready to take photos. You can either use the viewfinder on the back of the camera or use the LCD screen to see a live view of what the photos would look like. Press the button with the camera logo just to the right of the viewfinder to activate the live view on the back of the screen. Press the shutter button halfway down to focus, and then press the button down all the way to take a picture. You can see the green squares on the back of the LCD screen represent the area that the camera is focusing on. Use the play button on the back of the camera to review images that you've taken. To remove a lens when you're done using the camera, first ensure that the camera is powered off. With the camera facing you, find the small half-circle shaped button just to the right of the lens. Hold this down and gently rotate the lens to the left to remove it. Replace the protective caps on both the lens and the camera. Remove the SD card to transfer files to your computer. The SD card is located inside the hand grip on the right side of the camera. You can insert the SD card into the card reader that comes with the kit, or right into an SD card reader that may be built into your computer already. Please make sure to put the SD card back into the camera, and it's recommended that you format the card or delete all of the photos. To use the camera for recording video, turn the camera on by moving the power switch all the way up to the video logo. You will see the live view turn on the camera's LCD screen. To start and stop recording, press the button with the camera logo on it with the red dot next to it. You'll see a confirmation that the camera is recording with a red dot on the LCD screen. You have a couple options for focusing. You can either touch on the LCD screen to set a specific point for the camera to lock onto, or you can use the shutter button to focus the camera. Again, press the button with the camera logo to stop recording. You can review video that you've shot by pressing the play button on the back of the camera. The LCD screen has touch controls for navigating through the videos, pausing and playing, and fast forwarding through clips. The camera has a built-in microphone, but you can also use the shotgun-style microphone to capture higher quality audio. Make sure that the microphone is turned on and to confirm that the LED on the back of the microphone is illuminated green. Loosen the adjustment wheel on the bottom of the microphone and slide it onto the metal insert on the top of the camera. Gently tighten the adjustment wheel so that the microphone is snug to the body of the camera. Locate the microphone port on the side of the camera. You'll see a small rubber flap with mic stamped into it. Plug the microphone into that port. To set up the tripod, first extend all of the legs. Make sure it's fully extended before you clamp it back down. Remove the quick release plate from the top of the tripod by pulling outward on the lever just behind the green bubble level. Tighten the quick release plate to the bottom of the camera. Make sure it's snug so that it won't slide around, but don't over tighten it. Place the camera onto the tripod by clipping the quick release plate back onto the tripod. Do not let go of the camera until you are certain it is fully and securely attached. There are multiple adjustments for leveling the tripod and adjusting the height. The long handle for aiming the camera is also the adjustment for tilting up and down. On the left side of the tripod head is the adjustment for panning left and right. Just above the handle is the adjustment for flipping the camera to a vertical orientation. This is more useful for photography than it is video. At the base of the tripod is the adjustment for moving the stem up and down. This is useful for fine-tuning the final height of the camera. When using any of these adjustments, make sure you tighten the back down after you're done setting them. When finished with all the equipment, please neatly place the equipment back into the bags as you received it and make sure everything is powered off.